Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I'm here at home. Fishing season's starting to come around really quick, and I'm starting to prep physically for my fishing season. Not only do you have to spend long hours on the boat, making lots of runs, you gotta stand up, sit down, keep doing that. Definitely wears out your legs, casting, flipping, pitching, your arm muscles. Backhand, you gotta know both sides, you gotta be able to do both. I spend probably about an hour a day after I get home from work pitching and skipping and practicing hitting into little boxes. I got a little box set up over here by my oil. Zeus is kind of blocking it. And then I usually stand on a chair over here. Stand on that just because it gives you kind of like the elevation of the boat. It's not quite as high as my boat is off the water, but it's close enough to give you that feel, that sensation of being elevated off the water's level, and you're going to be trying to pitch and flip into a target. Usually I use like a plastic cup or something like that. I just happen to have one of these little jewelry boxes sitting around, and it's not doing anything, so I figured it'd be a perfect opportunity to use something like that to flip into. And well, I'll start doing that, and we'll see how I do. Now, it's something that you got to take your time. Flipping is not something you just learn overnight. It's definitely a progressive thing. Like right now, like I'm getting ready to go to Guntersville, so I need to practice flipping for grass with heavy jigs. So I'm throwing a 3/4 ounce jig, Okeechobee craw, and I'm going to be practicing flipping it right into that, and then you want to do it as quiet as possible. And here, you want to come in nice and quiet like this. You want to do it nice and quiet. See how loud that is? That's just making a huge splash. You don't want to be clacking in like this. It's loud, it's noisy. You don't want to make a big splash. You want to be quiet and subtle, because the noise that you hear through the box right now is going to be very similar to what the fish feels in the water. So if I come in there like this, make that big clap, you're going to spook the fish, especially if you're flipping into 2 foot of water and you land right on top of them, you didn't see them, that's just going to scare them away. You want to come in there nice and quiet. See that? Again, one more time. Nice and quiet, just like that. And just set it right in there. There we go. Now, let's make an example of what you don't want to do. You don't want to come in like this. You don't want to come in high and loud and bang. Scare all the fish away. Nice and quiet like this. That's how you want to do it. Third one was a little noisy, but it'll do. Let's avoid doing this again. That's noisy. You don't want to do that. That's just obnoxious. Fish don't like it. You want to come in. I'm going there as quiet as possible. That's pretty quiet. And I caught it. Here's what I'm flipping. I'm flipping a little 3/4 ounce jig with a Sweet Beaver trailer on my 65-pound braided line using my Okuma awesome rod. If you get a chance to get an Okuma, I suggest it. But this is a 6/8 heavy action Okuma C3 rod. It's pretty nice. And a friend of mine, Shelby, has let me borrow his Ardent flippin' pitch reel. It's first time I've used it, first time I've pitched with it, and I really like it. You know, it's going to be perfect for what I'm doing down at Guntersville. I've got my little bitty box set up over there. I'd say about 25 feet away, which it's probably not as far as I'll be pitching and flipping later, but it's good. If you can do that pretty subtle, you're good. So the goal here is to try and set it in there nice and quiet. You want to keep your lure swung down low and your rod tip pointed to your target, just like this. And you set her in there just nice and easy like that. Now, like we were doing earlier, you want to set it in softly. So, let's try it again. Learning how to flip is not exactly an easy task. It takes time, it takes skill, and anybody can do it with the right amount of discipline to make the effort to want to do it. Now, a lot of guys, they're out fun fishing. They're not worried about it. They're just going to make their casts and reel, and you guys can catch fish. It's not going to matter. I do it quite often. But there's those times when you need to take and be very subtle and placing that bait in an exact spot that you know that fish is going to be staged at, looking in a certain direction. And when you know that there's a fish there, the last thing you want to do is flip this big bait into that water to where it hits hard and spooks them off. If you do that, your odds are catching that fish are pretty slim now. But if you can take this bait, set it in there nice and quiet, just like I was doing, guaranteed you're going to catch more fish when you're fishing behind those boat docks or getting up against those laydowns and trying to be sneaky. I'll see you guys next time.